Hey, hey, just joined. Had technical difficulties this morning. Had to use my desktop's acting weird, so I don't know what's going on with it.
The icon.
Thank you, Ron. Ron, may it please court?
It does.
In 2023, Teresa Marchese returned to work after New Year's holiday. She works at Tishman Speyer, and she is the Director of Human Capital Management. That is to say that she's the Director of Human Resources. And Tishman Speyer is a real estate management company, but it's a global real estate management company. Buildings all over the world. And this office that Ms. Marchese works in is in Washington, D.C. When she returned to her office in Washington, D.C. that morning, she was alerted that one of her co-workers' husbands was trying to. The co-worker was Anna Walshe, and her husband is Brian Walshe. Teresa Marchese knew Anna Walshe because she hired her. She hired her in February 2022 to work at the Washington, D.C. office of Tishman Speyer and to manage some of those buildings in Washington, D.C. She also knew that Tina Walshe commuted from Cohasset to Washington to work at Tishman Speyer, and that her husband, Brian, and her 3 children were still in Cohasset at this time. She also knew where Anna Walshe lived in Washington, D.C. Anna Walshe had bought a townhouse right near where Teresa Marchese lived. So when she heard that Brian Walshe was looking for Anna, and she spoke to her boss, Jeff Chubb, and the two of them went into a conference room and called Brian Walshe. Brian was calm, but on January 1st, Anna left their Cohasset home for a work emergency and had to fly back to Washington, D.C. And he hasn't spoken to her since then. This is the longest they've ever gone without speaking. So, Teresa Marchese went and drove to the townhouse. She took another employee with her, and on the way there, she had another conversation with Brian Walshe. Brian was calm, and he gave her the combination to the garage so Ms. Marchese could get into the building. Ms. Marchese got there. She was able to look in the windows. Nothing was broken. She got into the garage, and she found some cardboard boxes that had yet to be unpacked, some car seats, no car, no Anna Walshe. Now the door from the garage to the home, that was locked, so she couldn't get inside. So, Ms. Marchese called Mr. Walshe back again. And she told him that she was going to loop into this conversation Tishman Speyer's global head of security, who also works in Washington, D.C. His name is Hugh Dunleavy. He's a retired Secret Service agent. Mr. Walshe is calm. Mr. Dunleavy is looped into this conversation on the phone, and Mr. Walshe is communicating. He becomes very upset. Mr. Dunleavy calms him down, asks him a series of questions, and Mr. Walshe repeats. Anna left home in Cohasset on January to come to Washington, D.C. for a work emergency. All is up. Have you called the police? What is the local police department in your town? You live in Cohasset. You need to call the police. The call ends. Mr. Dunleavy works with the Washington police and helps facilitate them getting into the home in Washington, D.C. And Anna is not there. He also calls the Cohasset on January 4th. And he reports Anna missing. Hugh Dunleavy from Washington, D.C. calls the Cohasset police, and that is the first time Anna Walshe has been reported missing to the police. And it was done just on January 4th. And no one has seen her since January 1st. Over the next few weeks, it'll be the honor of Ms. Cusick, Ms. Yaz, and myself to represent the Commonwealth. And in that time, we will prove the defendant guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of the premeditated murder of his wife, Anna Walshe. And we're going to do that by presenting evidence to you. And evidence will come to you, as Her Honor pointed out, in two different forms. One is kind of tangible. You'll see photos of the family home in Cohasset at 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway. You'll see videos from different stores. You'll see Anna Walsh's bank objects, like a Tyvek suit, like a hatchet, like a hacksaw. Now, in addition to those objects, you will hear from witnesses. Witnesses like Teresa Marchese and Hugh Dunleavy, who I just mentioned. You'll also hear from a group of witnesses that are Anna Walsh's friends and colleagues. They will tell you that Anna was 39 years old in January 2003. She was married to the defendant. She had 3 children. They'll tell you that she was a Serbian immigrant, that she came to this country and began working in the hospitality industry by working in hotels in Washington and Massachusetts, and that she transitioned to real estate. She got the opportunity to work for Jem Mutlu, who had his own real estate company. She actually wound up running that company for him. That was until February 2022, where she got what Brian Walshe would refer to as a dream job, where she got to work for Tish & Spire, and she would make more money than she had. She had purchased a townhouse in Washington, D.C., and she was expecting to have her family come with her. However, Brian and the children had stayed in Massachusetts. And the reason is that Brian had previously pled guilty to a count of fraud in the Boston Federal District. He hadn't been sentenced yet. And he was accused of owing over $400,000 of restitution. At this point in time, Anna was the breadwinner for the family, and she had moved to D.C. She was still commuting back and forth, but looking to have the family in D.C. And Brian too. However, when she bought the townhouse, she did this with the aid of a real estate agent by the name of William Fastow. She was introduced to Mr. Fastow from her former boss, Jem Mutlu. Mr. Fastow will testify. And he will tell you that they became friends, and that friendship became romantic. And that carried on into November of 2022, when Anna needed to go visit her mother, who was sick back in Belgrade, Serbia. Anna flew to Dublin Island the weekend of Thanksgiving, and Mr. Fastow joined her for that weekend. She then flew and visited her sick mother in Serbia, and then would return back to the United States. Mr. Fastow, after Dublin, would go back to Washington, D.C. But Anna missed Thanksgiving with Brian and the children. And then on Christmas Eve that same year, they went out to dinner in Annapolis with another couple. And she stayed the night. And she was dead. But she couldn't get a flight from Washington, D.C. to Cohasset. And she missed Christmas Eve and most of Christmas Day with Brian. Fly back to Washington. And on December 29th, she would go to dinner with one of her friends, who will testify before you. And that friend will say that she was uncharacteristically tired. You'll also hear from a series of witnesses that dealt with Anna Walshe right before New Year's. She returned back to Cohasset on December 30th, and she was going to stay with the family until January 3rd. You'll hear how she went to a barre class, B-A-R-R-E. It's an intensive ballet class. You'll hear from the instructor who will say that she did exceedingly well in that class. A person who was with her in a nail salon will testify. She got her nails done on New Year's Eve. And Mr. Mutlu will testify. He went over to the Walsh family residence on New Year's Eve for dinner. 3 adults were there. It was Mr. Mutlu, Brian, and Anna. He got there around 8:30. He brought some snacks for the kids. Actually got to play with the oldest child. And he spent the night talking to his friends. He'd characterize them as jovial. They shared champagne. They weren't drunk. They were enjoying the new year. They actually signed the champagne box. And you'll see that, where they were looking forward to the new year. Brian cooked. Brian was attentive. Brian also said to Mr. Mutlu that night that he had lost his phone, it had been misplaced, but he had felt free as a result of it. Mr. Mutlu left that home on New Year's Day at 1:30 a.m. And there was no mention of a work emergency that would require Anna to fly out or leave the family home at 6 or 7 a.m. that day. Now on January 4th, after Hugh Dunleavy had called the Cohasset Police Department, the Cohasset Police Department dispatched Officer Greg Lawrence to go speak to Mr. Walsh at his home. Officer Lawrence went. He was met outside by Brian Walsh. Brian Walsh informed Officer Lawrence that Anna had left on January 1st, had taken a Uber to fly out to Washington, D.C. for a work emergency, gave her a phone number for Anna Walsh, described her as 5'2", that she was 39 years old, approximately 115 pounds. He hadn't heard her. Officer Lawrence went back to the Cohasset Police Department, worked with other Cohasset police officers, trying to find any connection to Uber or Lyft. Cohasset Police would then begin the process of pinging Anna's phone. You're going to get to see the records from that, but essentially the process involves the cell phone carrier, in this case Verizon, sending a signal out to the phone to try and locate it. Verizon records will show that the last time that phone that belonged to Anna Walsh interacted with the network was shortly after 3 a.m. on January 2nd. And when it did so, it was in the area of the Walsh home. That same day, Cohasset Police also tasked Detective Schmidt with investigating this case. He and Officer Lawrence would go back to the Walsh family residence, Justice Cushing Highway, and interview Brian Walsh. And he recorded it. You'll get to hear the recording. And Brian will talk about how Anna was commuting back and forth from Cohasset to Washington for work, how there were some issues with the case, and how Mr. Mutlu had come over for dinner that night on New Year's Eve, and how Anna had to leave between 6 and 7 on January 1st. He also, in that interview, described what Anna was wearing when she left the home. Blue-gray hunter boots, a black jacket, and an Hermes watch. So Sergeant Schmidt will testify before you, and he will tell you that he worked on this missing person investigation and called in additional resources to help. On the 5th, he had his own department do a search of the woods near the family home. On the 6th, he called in a task force made of several different police departments to do further searching of the woods in and around the Walsh family home. Contacted the state police to use their resources. He also got the opportunity to speak to Mr. Walsh on January 5th, January 7th, and January 8th. And when he did those interviews, he was in the state police. And those interviews were recorded. And you'll get to hear those interviews. And Mr. Walsh, during those interviews, will explain that he and Anna were happily married. He had no knowledge of any extramarital affair. That Anna had her dream job, that it was taking care of the family, and conversely, he didn't take a salary this year out of his company that was a consulting company. He told the police that he owed over $400,000 in restitution on his federal matter, that this case was causing stress on his marriage, that he might have to go to jail. He said that they were very happy and that the biggest problem was that they were apart. Brian also told the police that Anna's job had caused her to miss Christmas Eve and Christmas Day with the family. And that Anna traveling to visit her sick mom caused her to miss Thanksgiving with the family. And that he did not want to have an argument with Anna about missing another holiday on January 1st. He had had a discussion with her about Christmas Day. He was concerned that by him looking around trying to find her, that she had embarrassed her. So he tells the police, I didn't want to have an argument with her. So I understood she was going to come back, and she left for that emergency at work. You'll also have access to financial records that will show that Anna Walsh had approximately $200,000 in accounts at Fidelity, and that there was over $1 million in life insurance in Anna Walsh, and that Brian Walsh was the beneficiary of those policies. And in addition to the Cohasset police, the Massachusetts State Police also worked with them on trying to find Anna. You're going to hear from two troopers in particular, Trooper Nicholas Torino and Trooper Connor Keith. They are digital forensic specialists. They have special training in examining computers, tablets, phones, and in this opportunity to examine a MacBook, iPads, and cell phones that were at the Walsh house. And they will explain that on Christmas Day, when Anna had missed Christmas Eve and was, after spending the evening with Mr. Fastow, and was driving up from Washington, D.C., the cell phone that Brian Walsh was using looked up Mr. Fastow on the internet. And that on December 27th, a MacBook that used the Apple ID for Brian Walsh, between 8:30 and 9 o'clock, researched best strategies to divorce for a man, best state to divorce for a man, Washington, D.C. divorce laws. On December 29th, Brian Walsh's cell phone was researching buildings that Anna Walsh managed for tissue emergencies she had handled for them in the past. Trooper Guarino will also explain to you the internet history of that MacBook that had Brian Walsh's Apple ID beginning on January 1st. At 4 a.m., the MacBook searched best way to dispose of a body for more than an hour. At 6:24 a.m., same day, the same device searched how long for someone to missing to inherit, how long missing to be dead. Can you throw away body parts? Later on that morning, on January 1st at 9:33 a.m., the MacBook went to search how long does DNA last? And then an article, is it possible to clean DNA off a knife? 30 minutes later, the MacBook researched disposal of a cell phone. At 10:28 a.m., the MacBook researched, I am the yard, she is missing. And again, on January 1st, at 11:28 a.m., it searched, best way to dispose of body parts after a murder. Trooper Guarino will explain the numerous websites and searches done by the MacBook in the morning and early afternoon on January 1st, and that these websites were about cleaning blood with ammonia, bleach, and hydrogen peroxide. Websites visited included those that are to throw away crime scenes or wash them. One site was entitled, "You want to get away with murder? Use a special deterrent." This type of activity on the MacBook continued into January 2nd, when it looked up, how long does Lowe's keep security footage? How to saw a body. How to dismember a body. Can you be charged with murder without a body? Can you identify a body with broken teeth? The MacBook also visited websites for apartment complexes in Brockton and Chelsea. One in particular, Chatham West in Brockton. Brian Walshe told investigators that his phone, which was an iPhone 13 mini, had been misplaced and not found until the afternoon of January 2nd, 2023. When investigators examined that phone, they learned that it had been connected to a power source, and it had been unlocked 4 times by either using the face or the passcode. Investigators will also tell you that the location data from that phone showed that it remained in the Walshe residence until the afternoon of January 2nd, 2023. However, there was another phone in the Walshe residence, an iPhone SE, which belonged to one of the children. When investigators examined the location data from that phone, they found that on January 1st, the phone traveled to a Walgreens in Cohasset, then to a liquor store nearby the defendant's mother's home, an apartment complex in Swampscott, to a CVS in Danvers, to a Lowe's in Danvers, and to a Stop and Shop in Swampscott. You will see the surveillance video from those stores. You'll see the video from Walgreens, where a white man with dark hair using a credit card buys Band-Aids and antibiotic. You'll see on the surveillance video at the CVS in Danvers that a white man with dark hair, now wearing a mask, buys hydrogen peroxide using cash. You'll see the surveillance video from the Stop and Shop. White man then goes buys ammonia with cash. And you'll see the surveillance video from the Lowe's in Danvers, where a white man wearing a mask and dark hair buys several items that cost more than $400 using cash, including a Tyvek suit and cutting instruments such as shears, snips, and a hacksaw. Will explain how the cell phone location data from the iPhone SE shows that it went to a Home Goods in the morning of January 2nd, and that Brian's iPhone 13 mini went to a Home Depot afternoon January 2nd. You will see the surveillance videos from those stores. You'll see a white man with dark hair at Home Goods buying scented candles and area rugs. And you'll see a white man with dark hair at the Home Depot buying more cleaning supplies. 20 pounds of baking soda, mop, buckets, and a hatchet. The investigators will also explain to you that Brian Walshe's cell phone on January 3rd was located near apartment complexes in Brockton. You'll see the surveillance videos from some of those apartment complexes, including one of Chatham West. You'll see someone go and then leave. The investigators will also tell you that on January 5th, Brian Walsh's cell phone was in the area of dumpsters and a trash compactor by his mother's apartment complex in Swansea, and that this was before he was interviewed by Detective Schmidt later that night. On January 9th, the police went to those dumpsters, and they took that trash compactor and that dumpster to a facility in Peabody, where they searched the contents of both. Found an Hermes watch, blue-gray hunter boots, a black coat, a COVID vaccination card with Anna Walsh's name, rugs, a Tyvek suit, a hammer, shears, snips, a hatchet, and a hacksaw. The police will tell you that these items were packaged and brought back to a laboratory, and they were brought there for examination. And how some of these items were examined for DNA. And the DNA was compared to samples they had from Anna and Brian. Scientists from the state DNA lab will identify DNA of Brian Walshe and Anna Walshe on the Tyvek suit. They will explain that Anna Walsh's DNA was found from items in the dumpster, including rugs, the hatchet, and the hacksaw. Jem Mutlu said goodbye to Anna Walshe about 1 o'clock, 1:30 a.m. on New Year's Day. When he left, she was home, she was alive, she was with her husband. No one has seen her since her husband said she left on January 1st. She has not accessed her finances, her email, her phone has made no calls, and no one has found her body. During this case, we ask two things. The first is that you keep an open mind. Do not rush to judgment, but instead, see how all the evidence fits together. Pay careful attention to the timing of certain events. And second, use your common sense. Don't leave it home. Bring it with you here as you make your examination of every piece of evidence. And at the end of this trial, we will speak to you one more time. And it is at that time we will ask that you find the defendant guilty of murdering his wife with deliberate premeditation. Thank you.
Thank you, 88 Connor. Jurors, why don't you take a break and stand up, shake a leg. And when you're comfortable and have regained your focus, you may be seated. Now we'll hear from the defense for the opening.
Thank you, Your Honor. Brian Walshe lied to the police. Lied to him on January 4th, lied to him on January 5th, lied to him on January 7th. Brian Walshe went to Lowe's and bought tools. Brian Walshe went to Home Depot and bought tools. Brian, beginning of 54, began a frantic and tragic search that you'll hear about. You'll hear the evidence of that. You'll hear evidence that those searches evolved from how best to dispose a body to even darker subject matter. as he wrestled with the fact that Anna Walshe was dead. That you will hear will be hard to understand, but it is true. On January 1st of 2023, Jim Mutlow left the family home of Brian and Anna Walshe sometime between 1 and 1:30 in the morning. Anna and Brian Walshe continued to celebrate the New Year's. They went upstairs to the bedroom. About an hour later, you'll hear evidence that Mr. Walshe got up, went back down the stairs to clean the kitchen. You'll see evidence that he looked at his email. You'll hear evidence that he then returned to the bedroom, intending nothing more than to crawl into bed with Anna Walshe, the woman he loved. When he entered the bedroom and began to get into the bed, he sensed something was wrong. You will hear evidence that it made no sense to him. But he nudged Anna, his wife. She didn't respond. He nudged her again, a little harder. She didn't respond. He nudged her now in a frantic and panic reaction to where she actually rolled off the bed. You'll hear evidence that now he is panicking and he doesn't understand what has happened and what is happening. It didn't make any sense to him. It didn't make sense that somebody that he had just been with and enjoyed New Year's Eve into New Year's Day would suddenly be dead. Not him. You will hear evidence in this case of sudden, unexplained death. You will hear evidence that it is rape. You will hear evidence that it happens in young people and old people. You will hear evidence it happens in male and female. You will hear evidence it happens during the day and during the night, that it happens to trained athletes. You will hear evidence that it can be the result of both mechanical and or electrical problems within the body. You will hear evidence that it might be cardiovascular, pulmonary, neurological, or other reasons. You will hear evidence that it occurs in people who have never manifested a symptom that something might be wrong. And in fact, you will hear evidence that sometimes the first manifestation that something is or was wrong with someone is the sudden, unexplained. That's the evidence you will hear in this case. Sudden, unexplained death is known within the medical community and the forensic community. But it is to this day not well understood, and that is the evidence you will hear. And it is not well to non-medical professionals. And you will hear evidence Brian Walshe never imagined somebody suddenly died. 1 hour he's with her, he cleans the kitchen, he comes back up, and she is dead. You will hear evidence in this case that Brian Walshe and Anna Walshe loved each other. Yes, there was stress in the marriage. Stress born out of a simple problem that took its toll. And that's the pending federal case that had begun in 2018 and was still going forward. And what happened was, over time, Anna Walshe got a job in D.C. with the support of Brian Walshe. It was a huge stepping stone in her career. It paid twice the salary. And they talked about it, and you will hear evidence that they had to make a decision. Brian could not leave Cohasset in the federal case. So who would take care of the children? Well, Anna worked in D.C. Brian would. And he did. There was stress in commuting back and forth between D.C. and Cohasset. Brian Walshe experienced that stress too. And Anna Walshe, and talked about it on Christmas Day of 2022. And that's what the evidence will be. Yes, there was an affair. You will hear evidence of an affair. An affair does not make someone a bad person, does not make someone a bad mother. Make no mistake about that. But yes, there was an affair, not between Brian Walshe and anyone, but between and William Faster. The evidence in this case will be that Anna Walshe did everything she could to hide that affair. That she did not tell her closest friends, her confidants, some of whom lived in D.C., the same person, Alyssa Kirby, that she spent December 29th with, drinking and talking about her life. She hid the affair. William Faster would tell me that he was unaware of any plans of Anna ever telling Brian about the affair. William Fasto will testify that they behaved differently in public in D.C. to make sure there was no appearance of the affair. William Fasto will tell that Anna Walshe told him she would be devastated if Brian ever learned about the affair. Brian Walshe didn't know about the affair. He did know. Anna Walshe had a crush on William Fasto because she told him not react in a jealous way. And you will hear evidence that over the close to decade that these two people were in love, and all you have to do is look at the evidence and the photograph you'll see of Anna Walshe. And the evidence will establish she is a beautiful woman. And it was not unusual for her to come to Brian. Look at me today. I think he liked her. Said Brian, not over a period of 10 years. And when she told him that she had a crush on William Fasto, the man who had sold the $1.3 million townhouse in D.C., didn't upset Brian. In fact, you will hear evidence from Alyssa Kirby that Anna Walshe told her, I wish he would be jealous. You will hear evidence that there was no financial issues or problems. Anna Walshe had just got that job in the early part of 2022 that paid close to $300,000 a year. They owned that townhouse in D.C. It was worth over $1 million. They owned whole life insurance policies on their sons in the amount of $1 million each. Whole life that you will hear you can borrow against if you need cash. You will hear evidence that Brian Walshe's mother gifted here from the landlord of the home that they were living in at the time that Brian was living in, taking care of the 3 boys, worked in D.C., that it was his mother who was paying the rent because that's what grandmothers do. There was no financial problems here. They owned investment property in Massachusetts. The evidence in this case is that Brian Walshe loved Anna Walshe. You will hear that she spoke of him in glowing terms to William Faster. That she said, "I want people to see the Brian that I know." You will hear how she talked about her relationship with Brian with Alyssa Curry. And notwithstanding the fact that Anna Walshe was having an affair, she described their relationship as open and honest. He believed their marriage was open and honest because he loved her. You will hear how she described Brian as her best friend to her friend Alyssa Curry. You will also see evidence that you may use to determine for yourself if there was love between these two individuals. The importance about those text messages that you'll see is simply that they're dated. The ones you'll see are dated beginning December 25th of 2022, 7 days before New Year's Day. 12:25, and Brian Walshe are texting each other, and she is sending him 7 properties, listings, primarily out of Zillow, 7 listings of properties in the greater DC area, Bethesda, Annapolis. They're searching for future investment properties. You'll see that, and you'll hear evidence that then she comes up with Brian and their 3 beautiful boys. You'll see on 12/27, now that she's back in DC, these texts, and they're talking about one of their property, and they're talking about the fact that it in fact sold. Now they need to figure out what to do with the proceeds. You'll see on 12/28, text exchange between Brian Walshe and Anna Walshe. Now, she's back in DC. She's not feeling well. She's telling Brian, "I don't feel well, so I'm going to stay at home and work at home today in DC." And they joke. And on the text, Brian says something like, "Well, I guess I'll have to get you a plunger." Anna responds, "I'll tell you what. I'll buy the plunger. You buy me that Porsche." Why? Because Anna Walshe wanted a Porsche. And what you see on that text exchange, right after she says that, is you'll see postings that he sent to her of the Porsches he'd been shopping for the woman he loved. And you'll see in his map book that he was shopping for Porsches because she had asked for one. On 12/29, you'll see a text exchange between them, a 3-story brownstone that she had found that maybe they'll buy for investment. And you'll see the text references to how much it cost, the square footage it's up and below. You'll see text exchange between possible renovations in the future. They are talking about the future. And this is on 12/29. And then on 12/30, simple texts between them about her catching her flight from DC to get to Cohasset for New Year's. She texts them, "I've landed." And what you see in those text messages are she begins to send Brian pictures of her playing with the boys now that she's reunited with her 3 beautiful boys again. And then you see 7 pictures sent by Brian Walshe back to Anna. taken of her playing with the boys. And how do they sign off these texts? You'll see them. Brian says, love you. And Anna Walshe says, love you too. We've come full circle in this opening, and now we're back to New Year's Eve. And Jim Mutlow, the family friend, is invited by Anna to come to the house to celebrate New Year's Eve. You'll hear evidence that he was thrilled. He was thrilled to be with two people he'd known for years, but he hadn't seen in some time. He knew their kids, 3 beautiful boys. He'll describe how when he drove up in the driveway, Anna Walshe ran down in her heels, no coat, on a cold day to hug him. And then what happened? They all went into the house. And what was occurring in the house? Brian was cooking New Year's. He was feeding them as they all talked for 4 to 5 hours. And what were they talking about? They were talking about the future. They were talking about investments. Anna Walshe told a story about how Brian had found a ring for her and the whole adventure of finding the ring and buying the ring. And she talked about it in glowing terms when she talked about how Brian did that. Lowe will describe that for the 4 or 5 hours that he was there, he saw no problems between them. He said that Brian was happy and Anna was happy. He described the atmosphere as festive. He described it as loving. As adults do for New Year's Eve, they celebrated with wine and champagne. You will have that box, or at least photographs of that champagne box, where they signed it. And what Anna signed on that box she wrote, "Let's make 23 the best one." She went on to say, courage, love, perseverance, compassion, joy, and signed it, love. Nothing was more important to both Anna and Brian but those 3 beautiful boys. They had talked about the problem of the federal case. It was stressful. When you heard in the Commonwealth's opening the reference to a divorce search, please understand that the other evidence will be that that singular search occurred between conversations between Anna and Brian about the sale of their property. You'll see that that search occurred 30 on 12/27. And why is that important? The evidence will show that the only time Anna Walshe talked about divorce with William Fastow, she talked about it in terms of Brian and I attempting to preserve the family assets. Why is that important? Because yes, there was $400,000 of restitution that was going to come due. And yes, Brian may have had to go to prison for some time. And what did that mean? It meant that there was going to have to be arrangement, not just to pay the money, which wasn't going to be a problem, but the boys had to move up to D.C. because Brian could no longer take care of them. And there would be all that added expense. And they went so far as to talk to Robin Howe, their nanny, their babysitter, and asked her if she would consider moving up. So there were expenses. So when you talk about preserving the family assets, you have to decide, how is it that I make sure, how is it, as Brian Walshe will tell you, how is it that I make sure that my 3 sons are financially secure if I have to go to prison? for a day, for a week, for a month, or for years. And in all of the other digital data that the Commonwealth has been poring over for 2 years, you will not hear evidence of any other conversations about the war. And you won't hear it from William Fastow. In fact, William Fastow will tell you he had resigned himself to think Anna Walshe was never going to leave Brian, father of her children. Jim Mutlow left around 1:30. Brian Walshe and Anna Walshe went upstairs. He went back down to the kitchen about an hour later to clean it up. Impossible, the unimaginable happened. It didn't make sense to Brian Walshe. It was confusing. He never thought anybody would believe that Anna Walshe was alive 1 minute and dead the next. And all he could think about were those 3 boys. What would happen to their 3 boys now that Anna is no longer here? What will happen if they think he did something bad to Anna? Where will those 3 boys go? And so, he told the story. He told lies. He tried to hide so he could hang on to those boys. Brian Walshe never killed him. Brian Walshe never thought about killing him. He would never think about that. Brian Walshe is not guilty.
Jurors, once again, why don't you stand up, shake a leg? About 15 minutes before the break, but it's been a long little stretch here, so I can either break you now or we can start the evidence. Does anybody, just a show of hands, need a bathroom break? Or can you hold on for 15? All right, we're going to take your break, and we'll see you back in about 20 minutes.
All rise for the court, please. What is that? Front row.
Please be seated. Does anyone need to address anything with me?
No, Your Honor.
Anything from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, we'll take about a 20-minute break. And Commonwealth, what's the lineup today?
It's going to be Sergeant Harrison Schmidt for the entirety of the day. The intention is to try and get through the audio interviews today, Your Honor.
And everything went well with the editing, so to speak, of the...
Yes, we've made all the edits that we encouraged and the ones that the court told us to make.
All right, and the defense is all set with that? Have you watched it yet, or?
Yes, we have.
All right. Let me know if you need me.
Yes, Your Honor.
Maybe, Judge.
during the opening statements that this room, which.
All rise to the court, please.
Not yet. This room, which has terrible acoustics, is being made even more intolerable, I would say, by the typing that's going on. So I'm going to ask, press is welcome here at all times. It sounds like you're taking a transcript of what's going on. Now people in the front row can move it back. We'll see how it sounds in this next. And I encourage the lawyers. I hear certain things, but I'm quite a distance from you. I found it disruptive to what I'm doing, and so I expect that you found it disruptive to what you're doing. And I want to make sure that you are clear-headed and can do your job. So if you find that that's not working, you let me know. All right?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge. You can bring them in.
All rise to the court, please. Jurors entering. Court is back in session. You may be seated.
So, jurors, now we're going to start the evidence in the case. The Commonwealth may call its first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. With the court's permission, the Commonwealth would call Harrison Schmidt.
Sir, do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you should give in the cause now in hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Thank you, sir. You can be seated.
Step right in there. Slide this. Thank you.
And you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir, could you state your name and spell your last
Harrison Schmidt, S-C-H-M-I-D-T.
And sir, I'm going to ask if you can keep that microphone a little bit closer to you so it will help amplify. Now, sir, where do you work?
Cohasset Police Department.
And what is your rank at the Cohasset Police Department?
Sergeant.
And how long have you been with the...
Full-time since 2012.
And how long have you been a sergeant?
Since January 2023.
Before January, your rank within the police department.
Detective.
And how long have you been a detective?
Since 2014.
And what were your responsibilities in January of 2023?
General investigations.
In addition to doing general investigations as a detective, did you have additional responsibilities with the Cohasset Police Department?
Yes. The lead firearms instructor, taser instructor, certified to certify officers use of force for the department, and active shooter.
Now, in addition to the Cohasset Police Department, do you work with any other law enforcement organizations?
Yes.
Which one, sir?
The Metropolitan Law Enforcement Council.
Can you tell us what that is?
It's MetroLEC. It's a consortium of police departments that come together with mutual aid to share resources and personnel to create specialized teams.
How many police departments are a member of? And how long have you been a member of MetroLEC?
Since 2015.
And what is your responsibilities within MetroLEC?
I'm on the SWAT team, and I'm the lead firearms instructor for the SWAT team.
And does MetroLEC have a search and rescue team?
They do.
Can you tell us about the SWAT team's interplay with search and rescue?
The Metro SAR team, search and rescue, if they need physical searchers, they will pull from the SWAT pool.
Now, as a result of working with MetroLEC and Cohasset Police Department, how many fatal investigations have you been involved in?
Dozens.
And how many missing person cases have you been involved in?
Between both, about a dozen.
And, sir, with your missing person cases, have you been able to recover each individual?
No.
And what are some of the reasons why not?
Medical issues, exposure to the elements, suicide.
Now, are you familiar with the investigation into the disappearance of Anna Walsh?
Yes.
How are you familiar with that investigation, sir?
I'm the lead investigator.
And when did you become involved in that investigation, sir?
January 4th, 2023.
And about what time on January 4th did you become involved?
I was notified on my way back from SWAT training by a supervisor that there was a missing persons investigation beginning in patrol. So I was requested to respond and assist.
And so about what time of day do you think that may have been?
I went to the police station about 4 o'clock p.m.
Now, sir, when you went to the station, what did you do to begin your investigation?
I initially responded to investigate.
Yes.
I conducted queries in law enforcement databases to get background information.
And after doing all of these activities, did you have the opportunity to do anything else to further your investigation that afternoon or evening?
I went to Mr. Walsh's home and interviewed him.
Now, where is Mr. Walsh's home?
516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway.
And can you tell us about that street? First off, I take it's in Cohasset.
Yes.
And by any other designation?
CJC Highway or Route 3A.
And so, as it being Route 3A, is it a busy street or is it a smaller side street?
It is 2 lanes divided by a double yellow line, main thoroughfare through town.
And about what time did you go to 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway?
About 6:30 p.m.
And who went with you?
Rance.
And why did you bring Officer Lawrence?
He was the initial patrol responding officer.
And so that night when you got the Walsh residence, can you tell us what happened when you arrived?
I was greeted by Mr. Walsh.
Okay. And when you were greeted by Mr. Walsh at this point in time?
His 3 children.
And what were the children doing?
They were eating McDonald's.
And whereabouts?
In the kitchen, there's a kitchen island that they were seated at.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, the Commonwealth would seek to what's been marked as Exhibit 1, a photograph with the file number SLD 7068.
Any objection to that?
No, no objection.
Ms. Gilman?
Marked and admitted as Exhibit 1.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Do we want to move them all in? Are there
There's no objection.
objection to this group? I just want to be as efficient as possible. Do you want to move them all in?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, how many are there?
52, Your Honor.
And do you have an index of what their designation is, or can you get that to the court just so that we have a record of that?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll give that to the court at the lunch.
All right, so any objections? I know you've, and by the way, jurors, before a case starts, the parties work together to see what evidence they can agree to and what they can't to the rulings. And they've agreed that these 52 photos are fair and accurate representations of what they were saying, that those 52 photos offered by the Commonwealth are now marked and admitted into evidence. They will be marked by the appropriate court staff as 1 through 52.
Now, sir, looking at Exhibit 1, can you tell us what we're looking at? We're going to have a tough time looking at the back. And if I could, sir, I'm going to ask that you could put that as close to the judge's bench as possible.
Sorry.
So I'm going to review you.
Sure, sorry.
Thank you. Sir, can you see it?
Yes.
Excellent. What are we looking at?
This is the front of the residence at 516 CJC Highway.
Thank you. Now, Ms. Gilman, if we could have Exhibit 2, number SLD 7067. What is this we're looking at, sir?
Still the front of the house, focusing on the right front corner.
And at that right front corner, are there any other entrances or egresses to the house?
Yes, there's a side door recessed on that little three-step porch.
When you went to the house that night, which door did you go to?
That door.
And perhaps now's a good time for me to ask you, can you tell me how this house is situated from the street at Chief Justice Cushing Highway?
It's set back a long driveway. In front is another house and a used auto car dealership. It's in a wooded area.
And that's what's around the house, is the wooded area?
Correct.
Ms. Gilman, could we have Exhibit 3, file number 7175? Sir, what part of the house was this?
This is the kitchen.
And when you got to the home that evening, where were the children?
In those island bar seats.
Now, you get to the house, what Mr. Walsh that evening?
We sat at the dining room table and conducted an interview.
And do you see Mr. Walsh here today?
I do.
Could you identify him for the court, please?
The gentleman seated over there, blue shirt, blue suit, white shirt.
Your Honor, if the record may reflect that the witnesses identified the defendant.
The record will so reflect.
Now, sir, where did the conversation with Mr. Walsh take place?
The dining room.
Ms. Gilman, 7178. So, what is it that we're looking at here?
This is the dining room.
Where was Mr. Walsh when you had your conversation with him?
Seated in that front right corner towards the camera.
And where were you seated?
The far seat, the seat that has that black jacket on the back of it.
Where was Officer Lorenz?
On the window bench.
And where were the children while this interview took place?
They were in and out of the room.
And Ms. Gilman, can we have Exhibit 5, 7177? Sir, what are we looking at here?
This is the area in between the dining room table and that kitchen island.
And Ms. Gilman, can we have the next exhibit, Exhibit 6, 7131? I'm sorry, 7124. My apologies. And sir, what is this again?
This is a closer view of that buffet table. in
And
the
then
dining
when
room.
you were there that night, what was in the house as far as pets?
A dog.
Ms. Gilman, can we have 7131, which I believe is Exhibit now 7? Sir, where is this in the home?
If you go in that side door, you're in a hallway. If you take a right, there's a sunken-in family room.
And is that dog the one that was home that night?
Yes, Hans.
Any difficulties with the night when you were talking to Mr. Walsh?
No.
And where was the dog that night when you spoke with Mr. Walsh?
In that crate.
Your Honor, at this point in time, the Commonwealth would seek to play the interview of January 4th. I have not marked this in the exhibit yet, but I have it on an individual drive.
All right. Subject to the objections that have been preserved. Any other objections?
No, you're.
All right. So this will be, are you offering it?
I'm offering to have this marked as the exhibit, and
All
then
right.
Ms. Gilman will be able to play it.
It'll be marked and admitted now into evidence as Exhibit 53.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, Exhibit 53, you review that, correct?
Yes,
And does that fairly and accurately reflect the conversation you had with Mr. Walsh that night?
it does.
Thank you. At this point in time, Ms. Gilman, I'd ask if you could press play on Exhibit 53, the interview from January 4th.
Okay, the quarter is on. It is 1839 on Wednesday, January 4th, 2023. My name is Harrison Schmidt. I'm a detective with Cohasset Police. Present is Officer Lawrence and Sir Brian. Could you state your name for me?
Yeah, Brian Walshe,
Brian Walshe. Okay. Brian, what's your date of birth?
13175.
Okay. And we're at your home, 516 CJC Highway.
Yes, it's right the right path.
Perfect. So, could you do me a favor? I know you've explained a lot of this
course.
today. Could you just do me a favor and just start at the beginning? So, I understand your wife, Anna, she travels a lot.
Yeah, she's in DC for this great new job she got.
Okay.
And we're to follow shortly, but it's taking longer.
Awesome. So, starting most recently, she was at work.
One second.
Yep.
That's okay. Can you please let me finish this and I'll meet, please? Yes. Okay, okay,
1 second. Do whatever. We're on your turf, so do whatever you need.
Thomas, you guys behave, thank you. All right, yes, go ahead.
So, most recently, so Anna, it's my understanding that Anna came home on, was it Friday?
Friday morning, she arrived. Yes.
Friday morning she came home, okay. And she flew from DC.
Show you she sent me that information.
Sure, I would love to.
You can look up, yeah, you can look through all of them, but that was the last one she sent me.
This is
That's,
word text.
no, she texted me so I would know when she was
Okay.
coming in. I'd ask.
Uh,
Yeah, my text chain was on, so you can look, you can take a look at that, whatever you want to do with that.
All right, so it looks like on last Thursday at 7:36 p.m. There's a screenshot of the JetBlue app, and it's a travel itinerary. It's a flight B6254, dated December 30th, from DCA, Terminal 2, the C28, to Boston, Terminal C, the C33. So it departs at 6:30 a.m. Arrives at Boston 7:57 a.m. And then do you mind if I just look at?
Please look at anything that's gonna help you, please look at anything. She sent me some, she had a day with Thomas, and she sent me some, videos of that, and then you'll get into the area where I start texting. And if you want to look at it, it's probably a year's worth, if any of that is supportive, please.
Sure. No, I'm not looking to pry, I'm just really.
I'm open, trust me, that's,
No, I appreciate it. So, Friday around 6:01 a.m., you text flight on time.
right.
She responds amongst other things, yes, boarding now. So, okay, Friday 7:59 a.m. landed. And then it looks like Friday 12:07 p.m. Photos of Anna and the oldest? Thomas.
Yeah.
6 years old, my man. More photos Friday evening. Did you take these photos?
I took that photo, most likely.
You took these and sent them to Anna?
She usually would just send them to herself. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Oh,
send them to herself,
okay,
the ones that she liked.
very good.
Okay, I know it's exciting for you guys.
So that was a series of 7 photos sent Friday at 6:33 p.m. And Anna sent this group of photos?
I believe so, yeah. So I took the photos, a lot of times I take the photos and she takes my phone and sends them to herself.
Okay. Monday, 2:33 p.m. A text from you to Anna. Monday, 7:18 p.m. Another text. Yesterday, bring a text. 6:39 a.m.
Usually she'd be back in touch with me at this point.
Okay. Calling you in Viber now?
Viber is what her sister uses. That's how it's like a WhatsApp or something.
Oh, okay.
So Viber is from a long time ago. She would use that to communicate with Europe and stuff like that. So when her SIM card died last week, she called me on Viber. So I thought I'd call Viber.
Okay.
Sister uses it. So I tried every sort of situation I could to get in touch
Okay.
before blowing the whistle or ringing the bell or anything.
Sure. Did the SIM card issue ever?
I believe so. Her phone was working when she came here.
Okay. It's my understanding that it's a company phone.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So,
And it's on Verizon, if you know.
no, so we're on Verizon. I don't know what the company is on, but I know that she was part of our family plan, and then she just ported the phone.
She brought the number over to their system.
Well, she took the phone over.
Okay.
So like that was canceled and was moved over.
Okay.
But I think she took the number as well because we didn't change it.
Right. Okay. So she took the number
And the phone.
to work, and then work to start paying for it.
Yeah, basically,
Okay.
yeah.
Excellent.
I guess they call it porting it over.
Important. Yep. When one carrier picks up the other.
They don't use Verizon.
Okay.
T-Mobile maybe.
Okay. Okay, so, then I see the text, around 7 a.m. How does she get from?
Yeah,
here?
she always Uber or Lyft. That's-
Uber or Lyft,
Yeah,
okay.
and Uber was one of the two.
Okay, and then, so she gets dropped off here?
She, usually they drop her off further down because no one can find the place. So,
Okay.
but that's pretty much. it.
Sure. So,
That's why I was in contact. When she's arriving, there's more contact than when she's going to DC. Normally, like, she's off pretty quick. So, yeah,
work,
right. So if it had just been, it would have been a totally different situation. But I heard from her, I don't know what's going on now.
Sure.
She's supposed to be here, so.
sure. Okay, so she comes home, Friday morning.
Yes.
Do you guys do anything together, or what are you doing? What?
Yeah, so,
Run me through the weekend if you don't mind.
yeah, with pleasure. I had some, when she was running late, so William and Brian Kinder Care, that's where the daycare is where we picked them up from.
Yep.
And Thomas was off, so I said, would you like to have a day with Thomas? I'm just gonna go with Thomas. I do errands that I've already scheduled for, and then she was having a good time, and then I came back, and then we spent rest of the day, the evening with the kids, and then we hung out. And
Okay.
then, she was a bit tired when she came. She wasn't feeling well. So Saturday was December 31st, in the morning, and
What's the gym?
yeah, it's bar method in here.
Bar method?
Yeah.
Okay.
She went to Glossy November for the New Year.
Is that also in Hingham?
I believe so, yes.
Going back to Friday, house? Or did
Yes,
you,
that's it,
you didn't
yeah.
go with,
No, we didn't
dinner
go.
or lunch or anything?
No, we were just taking the house.
So she was here, you ran some errands?
Yeah.
And then you just hung out in the house?
Yeah, then with the kids, doing family time.
Alright, so then she hits, farm out in Hingham for the gym in the morning,
Yes.
Saturday?
Yes.
And then glossy nails?
Yes,
Okay.
and that was the last time I used my phone to say, they're okay.
Yep.
And she said, yeah, I just decided to get my nails done. I was like, okay, great. Oh, thank you. Okay. And then she said, then she came over and she said, hey, I'm going to take the kids. I'll give you a break. I'm going to take the kids to a place in Canton, the Wonderland over there. It's an indoor place. Okay. And then my son took my phone up to his room. Okay. Sorry. Okay.
Sorry, I'm gonna do
Oh, thank you. Thomas brothers, thank you so much. This guy's mesmerized by you. So what happened was, I was like, oh, that would be great, so I get ready for her former boss, Jen.
Okay.
She hadn't seen him face to face for a while, so I said, I got some time alone to prepare dinner, get everything together, and she took the Jim. Yeah, GEM. A lot of people call him Jim. He's been on the phone with me 5 times today as well. So he came over, and then we had
Dinner here?
yeah, we had dinner here. Yeah, we had dinner here. We celebrated the New Year, and then signed the bottles, the best year ever, and then I'm working on it. I'm working on it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. There you go. Okay. Okay. See, that's how it happens. At that time, I didn't have access to my phone. Okay. So, sorry, he does that. I apologize. He's not supposed to.
The kids had the phone.
So William, the excited one, took it up from his room. I didn't know it was there, but I knew it was going to turn up. We have a lot of worry that it's going to be thrown out, and my wife's there a while ago. That's the age of the kids, but they have a tendency to throw stuff away. So then she's been on the phone a lot, or texting with work, and she mentioned with Jem that she was worried about work and things like that.
Okay.
And I was like, all right. She was scheduled to leave Tuesday morning early. And then she said that there was an emergency at work, one of the buildings, and that she had to leave early in the morning. Sunday morning. And I was like, okay, normally I would have been like, that's ridiculous, but she worked up until 7 p.m. on December 24th in another building in DC. Okay. So I thought, all right, this is, we're going to be together soon enough as a family. It's fine, we make this decision together. So,
Do you know what kind of issue arose?
She didn't explain it to me.
Some kind of
but there was one of the buildings had a bunch of leaks. Another building, the FBI raided that was front of tenant, and so she was dealing with all of that. She's the regional manager there. So I didn't know because I didn't want. I was like, all right, well, whatever has to be done. Then she said, hey, I'm going to have time off for Martin Luther King Day. I can be here for 4, maybe 5 days. And I was like, well, that's great. That's great news. And she only brings her bag. Her carry bag is normally a Louis Vuitton bag, and she didn't bring. She just brings a little bit of stuff. She's got a bunch of stuff all over the display, or she just goes and buys it. And then what happened? Then she woke me up around 6 and said she was going. She came down. I guess Thomas heard her and came down, and she said, I have to go. And he said, I love you very much. And she said, I love you very much. And then he said that she left. He got in a taxi, but I don't think he saw it because it was further down. But if you want to talk to him, but he said it was a taxi. And I was like, can you describe the car? He's like, well, I really didn't see it that. So I was like, okay. So he was coming down to get, I think,
Maybe Anna said taxi.
Maybe she's my driver. But I know that she was not driving. There's no way she was driving a vehicle. There's zero possibility of that.
Okay. When was she originally scheduled to fly back?
Well, it was Tuesday at probably 8:30 or 8 or the early flight that she takes. What was I going to say? I never got the confirmation for that. Okay. But she usually just sends me her arrival because that's the most important for us once she's with the kids and everything and scheduling. Right. So.
Okay. You particularly travel on JetBlue?
Yeah, she got a JetBlue credit card. Okay. That gave her 80,000 points, and she doesn't like getting new credit cards, but she was like, well, we're doing this a lot. So she had gotten that. I had no access to that. She just got it, but she also started to use it more because she needed to spend a certain amount of money to get the points. So that changed our whole dynamic over the last month.
Yep, that makes sense. So she's been flying JetBlue lately. Is it a particular airport that she's going to as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's JetBlue or second.
Okay.
This is Jim. You guys don't want to talk to him, do you?
Yeah, that's it. Focus.
Yeah,
One
gotcha.
thing,
So JetBlue number 1, American Airlines number 2. That's all I know. Someone said maybe she took a connecting flight. She never took a connecting flight. Even once in the summer where they had the thunderstorms and she couldn't. She spent 8 hours at the airport. She didn't even consider, like, well, I just go get stuck somewhere. It's not DC or Boston, so that's no good. So I don't think that happened at all. I can't imagine that. Always DCA, and it was always Logan. It was never, she never went to national or anything like that.
Okay. So what? You heard this from William as to the whole taxi mention?
Thomas, this is my
I'm sorry,
6-year-old,
Thomas.
yeah.
Thomas.
Yeah, William doesn't have it.
Yeah, well, that was time.
Yeah, William would be much more fantastical.
Yeah. So Thomas was up.
He gets up and he's always watching. I let him sleep with his iPad, so he wakes up and starts doing that. And then I guess, anytime he hears action downstairs, like during when we were having the dinner and celebrating, he came down to say hello to Jem. So anytime he hears something, he was like, "Oh, great, I'm awake," so he came down.
Okay.
Because when he was on the couch, I came down and said, "I'm sorry, mommy had to leave early."
Yep.
And he said, "I already met that daddy." I said goodbye to her.
Okay.
So,
Okay, that makes sense.
yeah. Because I was like, okay, because he was on the couch earlier than normal but he was off the whole week, so he did a lot of rest. So
Okay. So going back to New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
So it's you, Anna,
And
the
Jem.
boys, and Jem.
yeah, well, the boys were we put them to bed. Jem didn't get here till 8.
Okay.
And Anna
They're
took
all
them.
in bed.
Yeah, Anna took them to that indoor play. So totally.
Is it Wonderland?
I call it Wonderland. It's probably indoor play Canton. It's in Canton. It's an indoor play. But I don't have the exact name. Anna was on top of that.
Okay. So Jem and Anna
And then
doing the dinner.
came.
Okay.
And hung out, and we heard it was going, and then finally.
Okay. So how did the night progress? How late did Jem stay over?
Yeah, Jim, almost 1 or so, like after midnight at our age with kids, we're like, okay, good, we did it. Yeah, so I was like, it's past our bedtime. When you're younger, you're like, hey, what's next?
I was in bed at 10:30.
Yeah, right, there you go. So, and that's when, during that time, Anna was dealing with a fun message from Adela, who I've spoken to today, who was like, hey, you didn't see me before you left, and so he was upset. She was seeming, she seemed like the last couple of weeks, she seemed like under pressure at her job. And she mentioned even Jen, things she didn't like doing or she's not good at. So that seemed to be on her mind. She spoke to me a few days before saying she wanted to see a psychiatrist. And we're apart. It's been difficult for all of us. I've seen a therapist, like I told you today, the last 35 years. So anything that would support you is fine. And then, I always make fun of her as my super sturdy woman. So, it seems like she was invincible. And so that was going on, and then she said that she had to go. After Jem left, she said she had to go.
Okay.
And I was like...
So maybe around 1:30?
Yeah, maybe before, like, after 1:30.
Okay.
And then, because she was like, we're going to go to bed. And I was like, what's this? She's like, Brian, I really have to go back. And that's when she told me, and I was like, that seems odd, but I get what's going on. She was supposed to be here the whole week.
Right.
But she didn't get it until Friday because she was just too much work that she was trying to keep up with. So the schedule has been, thank you. Thank you. But the schedule has been like that for the past few months, like where she's been having to cut back on family time. And it's been difficult for all of us, definitely.
Sure. When exactly how many months ago did she start the job, or when did the whole new arrangement?
Yeah, it's been a while. We've been here for 9 months almost. We were only supposed to be here for a few months, and then things took longer. Hello, hi. Okay, thank you. Okay. And then first was supposed to be in Boston, the job.
Yeah.
And she worked at the Boston, and then that wasn't working out, and then she moved to DC, and then I was like, all right, well, we'll do this. It shouldn't take long, and then, you know, things progressed, so that was not the best.
Okay. I can imagine that's gotta be tough.
Yeah. But, you know, the only problems we had in our marriage were that we spent time together. That was like, I mean, during the pandemic, when we were divorced, we enjoyed family
You
time.
loved it,
Yeah, everybody loved it, yeah.
Sure. Okay, so what's the time frame? So Jen leaves between 1 and 1:30?
No, Jim leaves like 1, like let's say 12:50, 1 o'clock. Because I remember looking at the clock, it was close to 1.
Okay.
And then Anna and I were talking, and then I went to the bathroom, and she said, I have to, let's go to bed. And I said, sure. And then I was like, let me clean up. And that's when she said that she'd have to go tomorrow.
Okay.
And she'd made mention that she might have to leave early,
Yep.
earlier on Saturday. But you know, then she confirmed it. But she always was like, hey, I'm going to be there early. I'm going to stay longer. And then she's like, I can't do it. So I think maybe a lot of pressure on her for more family time. Maybe she was having a hard time.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's understandable. All right, so you think by 1:30 you both were upstairs and were to bed?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Both asleep at 1:30.
Okay, and then she was to catch a early
But so
flight
she,
Sunday.
yeah. So she only got, this is why I'm tired, she wasn't feeling well
Yep.
on Friday to begin with, and she was very ill the week before. I want to say, because I got sick too. The kids came, everyone got sick.
Boys run around.
Yeah, so everyone's sick a lot. So, but I want to say on maybe the 27th, she worked from home. She was so sick, which is very rare.
Okay.
So, but she was feeling better. But I noticed a difference there, and then she probably got 2.5 or 3 hours of and then she gets up and you hear her like bathroom getting ready, and then it must have been 6. I didn't see the clock, but it was dark outside still. So,
Okay.
and that's when she came down. And then she does the final like cleans up and stuff like that. You know.
Okay. Did you sleep through that whole morning routine?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I used to get up, and she was like, "You're gonna be ruined because the boys are gonna get up." So I was like, "You're right," but she comes and kisses.
And then, or seen any other, you know, does she have social media?
Yes, people have already been looking into it.
Yep.
I guess her iMessenger comes up on my phone for some reason. I don't know. So people have been sending messages, and I think they're for me, but they're for Anna.
Okay.
And her Instagram, I have some access to, but I don't do any social media really, so it's her domain. But everyone has called saying that they thought that they saw some ad on Facebook, Jen and Adela, and I said it must be me. Comes through, and I look at it because normally I don't.
Okay.
But now I'm looking at everything that comes in.
Yeah.
But there have been no. I don't think there have been any new posts because I'd have
To keep an eye out.
yeah, if there have been any new, but it does not seem like she's on Instagram and Facebook.
Instagram, Facebook.
I don't know of any other platforms.
All right. So Sunday morning when she leaves,
Yeah.
you haven't heard anything?
Don't know.
Okay.
But just to be clear, I didn't have the phone, and last week on it was the 24th. She had that work at Mazda building or something. So I didn't hear. We spoke in the morning, but I didn't hear from her all day. And then she was supposed to be here on a flight, and she missed that flight on the 25th.
Okay.
And she drove up.
Okay.
At that point, that's when I freaked out because she was coming here. So I'm like, well, where is she? I haven't heard from her.
Right.
Super weird. And that's when I said, you're missing. And I'm going to kind of call Sally, her sister.
This is the 24th.
The 25th, I'm sorry, 25th, yeah.
So
Christmas Day,
Day.
because she worked all night, New Year's Eve,
Yeah.
which I was not happy about, but I understand. She was supposed to be here early on the 25th. She wasn't here. And I didn't have, Jen sent me her flight info.
Okay.
That's one of the few times. So then I started to really get nervous, and I called Sally and Alyssa, and I called Jim, but I didn't say anything to Jim. And then I called my mother, and I was gonna file this person's report right there. So I was like,
Yep.
and then she called and said, I'm driving up. I was at the airport. My flight was canceled. I was busy. I couldn't get in touch with you.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. So this time around, it was a bit different. She's going to DC now, and I didn't have the phone, so I just emailed her saying, I hope everything's okay, and all that's fine.
So, where was your phone on Sunday?
So Saturday at 11 a.m., I guess William took it, put it up in his bed. It was under, Thomas found it under his pillow on Monday at that 2:30 time when I got in touch with her.
Okay.
But I emailed her twice before that, but I was like, you know what, it's fine. I don't want to, I don't see the person every time my wife needs 5 minutes. So, and then I started getting nervous, and then on Tuesday, I started to call around, and I remember her telling me, hey, don't call work. Don't embarrass me at work, Brian. And I was like, sure. So I called Sally and everyone, and then I was like, I have to. And
We're going on another day.
yeah. So now it's Wednesday today. Today's Wednesday, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, I lost. And then this morning, that's when I started calling everyone.
Okay.
And then the Chief Spy people got back to me very quickly.
Yep.
I left a message at their off-site sales. I said, can you please say Brian Walshe called? I called another building that we didn't pick up, and I was going to call her boss, Jeff Chod. I didn't have his number, but I was looking for it.
Yeah.
And then it was Graham that called me and said, is everything okay? And I said, I don't know. She had work. And he said, I didn't see her yesterday.
Okay.
And that's when things kind of moved a lot quicker.
Okay. All right. Very good. That all sounds reasonable. Has she ever forgotten her phone or left her phone here before?
She's never left here. I mean, she's pretty good at it. It has happened.
Yes.
It has happened, but I don't think she's ever left her phone here.
Okay. Does she ever turn the phone off or put it on vibrate or anything like that, or does she always keep the ringer on?
No, she definitely turns it on. In the evening we have
Okay.
to. So.
Is she on call at times where she would always keep her phone on, or is she okay to just shut it off at night?
She would turn on the side. She never turns the phone off though.
Okay.
So the phone is almost always on. I mean, a lot of times she's running out of battery.
That would be my next
Yeah.
question. Is she one of the types that's always looking for phone chargers?
Yeah, no, we have also the kids are destroying them all the time, and so here at the house, she's always looking for juice for her phone.
Okay. Does anything else come to mind that we should be aware of?
I mean, I talked to my wife even though that we've been doing this for a while and we haven't had about it, I talk to her a lot, and even if she can't talk, she sends me a text saying, I'll call you right back, or something. I mean, it's very rare to use that. It's 1 or 2 times that I didn't hear from her, and then I freaked out, and then she's like, you need to take it easy. I mean, it's too much pressure, Brian. I said, sure, of course, I understand.
Right.
And now this time, I feel like I was not high pressure enough. I should have done something more. So my mother is calling, and she's like, what's going on? She wants to hire private investigators and stuff like that. So I was like, so the detectives class are coming. The gentleman at Tishman Spire is head of global security. So
Okay.
I think we're in a good shot here.
Yeah. Do you have shared or access to her Uber or Lyft accounts? Or
No.
does she run her own?
Yeah, I don't use any of that stuff. Yeah, I'm driving around, and I never did. It worked out when I was single. My friends would pay for all the Ubers, but Anna was always ahead with the tech and things like that.
Okay.
And since she was, I never did anything to learn about it because I didn't have to. So I was,
does she have any family here stateside or New England?
Me and the boys. That's it.
Okay.
And then her sister is in Toronto. I told her sister you guys were coming, and that she's available to talk. Everyone's available to talk, whatever you want to ask.
Okay,
anytime.
perfect. Appreciate that. So she got a sister in Canada. Where's Anna's mother?
Okay, so Anna's mother's in Belgrade, and Anna was just there. Her mother has been sick. She was here, and then she got back to Belgrade. So she went up. She was going to the hospital to do some work. So she and her sister were both there to support her mother
Okay.
at the end of November, beginning of December.
Okay.
No, no.
And that's, Serbia?
Yes, sorry,
Okay.
yes, Serbia.
Okay.
And Sally, her sister, called, let her mother know what was happening.
Okay.
So,
So any other siblings?
it's basically just the three of them. It's her and Sally and Malaka as her mother.
Okay. No brother or anything?
No, no.
Okay. Any like half siblings or anything on the father's side?
There's someone, his name is Milan. He is a cousin that they share land with, that they've been in a dispute with for 30 years or 20 years.
Okay.
And that's been going back and forth for our entire marriage. They had a deal. They went up to deal with that as well.
Okay.
Yes, but Sally and Anna do not get along with Milan at all.
Okay.
But he's
so that's kind of a tumultuous relationship.
very, I'd say.
And there was activity related to that as recent as.
They had to go deal with the lawyers, and they had a contract that was signed 5 years ago, but they had to, cancel it.
Okay.
It didn't work out.
And it's like a land dispute.
It's a huge land dispute, yeah.
Okay. Was Jimmy like best friends? I know you mentioned Jim, which was an old.
Jem is,
coworker.
there's a girl named Carrie Westbrook. She's a very good friend of Anna. They both worked at the Little Washington. Jim and Adela called, posted something about it's been 10 years or 13 years, and Anna would normally always say something. Okay, thank you.
Where did they work together?
At the Inn at Little Washington. That was Anna's. I think Anna's one of Anna's first jobs when she was here.
Okay.
So Carrie, and then in town there's Adela who works at the Melrose. He's been in touch with me several times today. There's a neighbor. She made good friends with the neighbor. I don't know who the neighbor is though. That's Winta is her name. But was just spoken about with for several months, which is, I guess now I think about it is odd. There's Alyssa. Alyssa Kirby lives in Marshfield, that's her brother, and Alyssa Kirby lives very nearby. When I called on Christmas Day, Alyssa was going to go over and check on the house.
Okay.
And that's an Anna call, and then Anna's like, settled down. But Alyssa has, she's like, I can go over to the house. So I said, everyone's already been to the house. Alyssa, thank you.
And these are DC contacts?
These are, Alyssa is a DC contact, Adela is a DC contact, Carrie's in DC. The gentleman who sold us our townhouse, William Fasto, is in DC, and his office is very close by. When I called him, he's like, oh, I just got back in from Idaho, but he immediately went over to take a look at the house.
Okay.
Adela did too.
Okay. Just so I have the dynamic right, you guys started in DC and you came up here, lost an opportunity, and then that kind of brought you back down. Or brought you back to DC?
She was in DC. I was always involved. Like you're going back, like from the beginning of our relationship.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah,
like,
sure.
how long? Like when did you guys meet and when did you guys get married?
Oh, right. Yeah. So we met years ago at it's called the Wheatley.
Okay.
And then she went to DC for a job, and I was traveling, and then I called her in November of 2011 to say, I'll be in DC, and then we met up, and we started going out again, and then in 2013 we lived together in DC, and then that wasn't working out, and I came up to Boston, and then she quickly came back after.
Okay.
And then we were in Boston since then, and then she got this job in DC, and she said, I'm going to go back to DC now as it works out, and I said, sure, and then but we were in Boston for 7 or 8 years together.
Okay. Do you have any other phones, or is it just that one work phone, or like an Apple Watch, or anything?
She wanted to get an Apple Watch, and we were actually getting. I didn't see. She would have told me we talked a lot, so I don't think she was talking about getting another phone and an Apple Watch. I don't know if she got the Apple the extra phone, but I was wondering if she had a second device as well. But she normally likes to just have one device. There have been times over our marriage where she's had 2 devices though.
Okay. Is it who's typically in charge of either the finances or the accounts?
Anna's very good at that. We do it together, but when it comes to being on time paying the bills, she's much better. Yeah, much better at that stuff. So.
Okay. Great.
With me, like more, broader advisory. Like, let's do this, let's spend money on that. But no, she is an operations expert. That's like
Certainly.
perfect. Yeah.
Okay. How about, if you don't mind me asking, like overall, like financially, like everything good and in order, or
Yes.
are there any stressors, or
Yes, yes, definitely. Okay. Well, financially, in some ways, better than ever. This job was 3 times what she was making in Jack.
Oh wow.
That's why I think she did 315 this year.
Oh wow.
So that was huge for us.
Sure.
And then, yeah, definitely. So that's why we decided to do the deal. But I've been having problems for many years now. It's one of the reasons why I couldn't leave, because I'm dealing with that now. And it was supposed to be done a long time ago, and it wasn't. So we've been really depressed about that. And there is restitution that I get to pay. We have the money, and we're just waiting to get a final resolution. So the stress was being a part and not being authors of our own lives. I couldn't move when we had to. And then our mothers had both of their health a bit difficult. So she had to go to Belgrade instead of coming here for 2 weeks.
Right.
And that was a hard hit. And then my mother, she needs a lot of assistance. She recently cancer surgery. So she's doing well. So thank you. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
But those were everything okay, Thomas? Okay. This is a whole long time. But yes, the biggest stress was not being together. Before, when it was fine. It just it was it was one of those, we were a magnificent team. We were able to get through anything together. I was reading her a love note just the other day from 4 years ago about how we're able to blossom under such difficult circumstances. So
Perfect. I appreciate you being so open.
yeah.
Is it okay if I ask about?
Please ask any questions you'd like.
The legal stress?
Absolutely, yeah. So, do you have a specific question, or would you like
Just a rundown of, what?
Yeah, I misrepresented a Warhol piece. You can read about it in the papers.
Are you an attorney? What's your representation?
No, I was. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Well, we have a chocolate. So I had some art, and I lost money on it, and I used to another person, a gallery in LA.
Okay.
And then the FBI got involved, and I was arrested, and that occurred in 2018. So I've been dealing with that, and then we went to sentencing in October 8th of 2021, and everything was going to be fine.
Yep.
But the bank had called for the bank check, saying that some of the money had been returned, but none of the money that was in the bank check, and then things were postponed.
Okay.
And then things continue to be postponed, and that's, so I'm kind of locked down here at the house. Part of my sentence was home confinement, but it's gone over the 12 months because of things have not been resolved yet.
Okay.
And that's why I've been able to be in Massachusetts with, I'm sorry, in DC with my wife, and she's been doing so. But we were, just the other day, there was possible resolution for the whole thing.
Perfect.
Obviously,
Let it be the time.
that's what we're looking for. The prosecutor definitely, I will. Give me one moment, I'm going to make the note for you. But the prosecutor definitely was interested in more, and he saw a second opportunity at the Apple. So that's why things have taken a lot longer. And,
Okay.
But that's where we're at. And if there's any other information, you can, I'll give you my attorney's number. She can also tell you about it.
Sure.
She can probably explain the law better than I can. But I was, I acknowledge I was out of integrity, and thank you. And the whole family, unfortunately, is dealing with it because of my actions.
So, we're not here to catch judgment.
No, it's, but I just, I know.
I was.
No, I want to
get a whole picture.
I don't want to hide anything from you, because if that could lead to finding my wife sooner, that's the most important thing.
Right. Yeah. So we just.
But it's, I do want to acknowledge extremely.
It's a stress or anything like that.
But it's extremely embarrassing for me to talk about, but under these circumstances, it's worth it.
We're not, again, we're not here to judge anything like that.
Thank you for that, thank you.
Um,
Is there any, but please, if you have any other questions, please ask me. This is, don't hold back.
she obviously has a passport, right?
Yes, yes.
Is her passport still here?
No,
Is that something she normally carries with her for traveling, or?
yeah, I would say yes, because what happened was she lost her ID at one point.
Yep.
And now she had to start carrying her passport.
Using that as a-
Yeah, but now she owns a passport. She brought, William does not have a passport. Thomas and Brian do.
Okay.
And when I got nervous about, not seeing her and stuff, I was like, hey, whoever is with the kids should have their passports. It's the only form of ID. Also, my mother wanted to open an account for Thomas, and so the only way to identify him properly. Sure. So she brought those passports here, and they're here now.
Okay. Is she on any medications?
Not that I know of. She just so for health, I'm out of shape, but she's in great shape. But she we had a bit of a cancer scare last year, but they biopsied and said it was fine
On her side?
On her side, and but she kept saying that she felt that she was pale recently, and I said because she hasn't had a lot of rest, she'd be working hard and flying. Okay, and flying in, and then when she gets here, it's not restful. The kids are like, so I would give her some weekends off and say, hey, stay in DC. I'll take care of the kids. You've got to get, because she's here the whole weekend and leaves early in the morning for work, and then now her work schedule really, when she got back, the work schedule really got very tight because she'd taken 2 weeks off.
Okay.
So it'll be really bad. Or anniversary, so it's
Sure.
sad.
So you're not aware of any medications. Any other health issues or anything coming up? The one biopsy?
No, nothing. I mean, it's very unlikely that she would hide something from me.
Right.
We really talk about everything, and no, I can't think of that there'd be anything else.
Okay. Luggage wise, she probably has a full set of clothes in DC.
Oh yeah, and most of my clothing's in DC too. So the idea she wanted to got there was taking a lot longer. So we had to buy stuff just to like everything. We keep having to buy new stuff
up here. I assume she travels light.
Very light.
Okay.
Yeah. So one time she just brought her purse.
Yep.
And then this time she brought up my heavier coat because I was getting cold. She said, "I'm gonna bring." So she brought her little carry-on.
Okay. And
But
you had a coat in DC, so she brought your coat up here.
Yeah, because I was wearing this light coat, and she said, "Come on, I'll bring it up." And I was like, "All right."
That makes sense. Sure.
Bring more luggage, and I felt bad. She's like, "Don't buy a new coat, don't get so."
Right. So, do you try to carry on?
Absolutely. So Louis Vuitton carry-on.
It's like a big purse, like.
Well, I know it's the duffel bag, the Louis Vuitton duffel bag. Yeah. My mother actually, she wanted me to ask the Washington police if they saw that bag at the house, because if that bag was there, I think she's definitely at that. She'd been at that house.
What color is it?
It's the brown, the classic, yeah.
With all shades.
Yeah, with the
first guy.
LV. I mean, I had to become what my wife is. Yeah.
Any like memory issues?
Yeah, she has a terrible memory. We make fun of it since we've been together. Yeah, she's like, I said that's why she's always happy. She doesn't remember anything.
But I mean, so she's not losing like big gaps in the day, like.
No.
Like hours go
No,
missing.
nothing
Just
like
classic,
like some
like what I had, like. I forget what I had for lunch.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. It was. Yeah. I mean, but that's the joke it always made. It's like, well, I don't know. I mean, she was always. That was always the thing. Or even, further back, I was the one who had the memory. It was good. I could repeat stories, so it'd be a fresh marriage forever. It was good.
I like that. Any substance abuse?
No, I basically drank nothing when she met me. She started to drink more,
Okay.
and then we both with the kids and stuff pretty much shut it down. But New Year's Eve we did have some champagne and stuff like that. But no, Anna's they're totally straight up always.
Do you have any sort of like family tracking on the apps? Like Find My iPhone,
I don't.
AirTags, anything like that?
So my mother just bought AirTags for us, and Anna had picked it up on Saturday. She said, "Can I have one?" I said, "Yeah, one of these is for you."
Sure.
But because things went so, those are sunglasses. What did you find? You forgot them. Okay. All right. But because she left early, we're going to do a lot of work for the New Year and stuff, and she was going to be having an AirTag with her.
Okay.
My mother was like, "I'm going to have an AirTag."
Yeah.
But they're right on my desk, all wrapped up and everything. And she's the one that like launches all of it. She's the one who puts stuff together. So
Yeah.
So, and I would always just say, "Oh, okay, we'll wait till you come back." I was always waiting for her to come save us. Four guys over here.
Bachelor house.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay, I should take these.
Those look expensive.
Yeah. They're. Okay. Don't break them. Okay. All right. Okay.
Where did he find those?
I don't know. They must have been over here or something like that. I didn't notice. I didn't notice. I just noticed them. Okay. No swearing. Sorry for that. I thought he was saying truck for a while.
I heard truck. I'm on his side. I heard truck.
Okay. Good. Thanks.
Did she bring the bag back with her? Have you seen it here?
I know we haven't. So when you asked me what she might be wearing, her black coat, but it's a small coat.
Yep.
The hunter boots were gone, blue and gray. The duffel bag, and then the purse that she brought,
Okay.
a black purse.
Do you have any cameras at the house?
Not
Like
this one. No.
Ring doorbell, I know it's a rental, but
Yeah, no.
or property owner or anything?
I don't think so. I haven't called Peter yet. I've been calling a lot of people, but hadn't been ready to go to the next level again. But I don't think he's got. He might have something done by the garage. Like, he might have some.
Sure.
But I don't think he's got anything on it. I haven't seen any Ring doorbells anywhere.
Okay. Any cameras at the townhouse in DC?
There's she installed. We had the door. What's the not Ring, but what's the other one? Not our.
Blink.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them now.
Ring, Blink,
Net.
Arlo,
What's the one that has a thermostat too?
Nest.
The Nest. I think it's a Nest cam. But that would be on her phone. But when we were, I'm going to one moment. When we were at Jerusalem Road, we had 3, so I'd be out playing with the boys, and she'd call or she'd talk through it and stuff
yeah.
like that. So she's very good with that. Yeah. But no, I just not here. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Any other questions? Or?
Sheila, anything else?
I can't think of anything else that you haven't already explained. Appreciate it.
No, I appreciate. No, I appreciate it. I know it's 7:30, and you guys are still here, so thank you for that.
Do you mind if I take a look at the camera roll? Maybe if she took your, if she took
The photos I have on
photos?
this.
Yeah. Something that jumps out, you know what I mean?
Sometimes the kids get it, so sorry.
No,
But that's everything there. You can take a look. There's probably 1,000 photos. Glasses back, please. What glasses, please? Okay. You said it would be okay if they ran around.
Yep.
That's fine. You know that happened, Mills.
Yeah, I always make the joke, I'm gonna make it extra happy for you guys tonight. Yes, Thomas. Okay, well, please tell him not to, that's not. Tom and William, please. Oh, no, I would like to say, I don't know where you learned that from, but I'm pretty sure it was me. You're taking that, that's your brother's, he's gonna get very upset. Thank you. All right, can I have the glasses back, please? No.
If you don't mind me asking, what kind of errands did you run on?
Yeah, on
was it
Friday. Yeah, basically I just went down to see a friend of mine, Paul Fleming. We haven't seen each other in a while. And then, brought back some of the stuff and things like that. And trying to think what else.
Where was that? Where did you meet him?
It was in New Boston.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, in Kimball Square. What?
You might have taken one back.
Oh, great.
Thank you.
Yeah, and if you, anytime you want to go through this, feel free.
Sure.
It's so weird, like my whole life is like on this thing. I'd be like, here's my life, go enjoy it.
Yeah, I just looked, I saw the photos from the DC area.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Your wife and the boys.
Oh, that's the same, yeah.
And that was a Friday.
I'm trying to think, I also went to, I had some interview banking stuff to do, so that was the other thing.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Do you mind if we just do a walkthrough of the house, just see if anything jumps out to us?
Yeah.
It could be a fresh set of eyes.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
let's do it.
So, is there anything else? Because I'll shut this off. Is there anything else that,
I think that's it, that's all, yeah.
Greg, do you have any ideas? I know we covered a lot. I really appreciate you going.
Yeah, no, of course, absolutely.
Sometimes every little thing helps, you know?
I believe that, I honestly believe that.
You know, there's, we have to move the ball on and see if we can track something down, so.
Right.
All right, it is, 7:31 on Chernoff Road.
Sergeant, I have a few questions about that interview. How old were the children at this point in time?
2, 4, and 6.
And the oldest child, what was produced during that interview?
An iPad.
An iPad. And when it's heard the defendant saying 121212, what is going on at that point in time?
The child needed help unlocking the iPad and assisted in punching in the code to unlock it.
Now, in addition, someone produced glasses. Who did that?
The middle child.
And directing your attention to what's been marked as Exhibit 6, file number 7214. Ms. Gilman, if we could have that. Sergeant, did you see the glasses there in that photograph?
Yes, there were ladies' glasses there in the black case underneath the mirror on the counter.
Now, after or during the interview, his phone, what did you look at on his phone?
Text message thread between him and Anna and the camera roll.
And what did you see as far as travel arrangements?
There were screenshots of the JetBlue app that Anna had sent him for the flight from DC to Boston.
So at the end of the interview, there's a walkthrough. What did you do next?
We concluded the interview and began the walkthrough.
Okay, and so what is a walkthrough, sir?
We just went throughout the house to see if anything important.
Ms. Gilman, can we have Exhibit 8, 7115? So, sir, what part of the house was this?
This is the front of the house it's not the front door, but it's like the primary access door to the right.
Ms. Gilman, can we have Exhibit 9, 7120? Where are you in the house at this point in time, sir?
If you go into that door from the last photo, you're in a hallway. If you look left in that hallway, this is the entryway in the dining room, that open floor concept.
And Ms. Gilman, if we can have Exhibit 10, 7122. Where is this in the house, sir?
If you go in from that outside door and you look straight from the hallway, that's the first floor bathroom.
And what is inside the first floor bathroom besides the bathroom?
Washer and dryer.
Ms. Gilman, Exhibit 11, please, 7169. And I take it this is the washer and dryer inside that first floor bathroom?
Correct.
Could we have Exhibit 12, file number 7137? Where is this, sir?
If you come in that same door, that hallway, if you look right, there's a sunken-in family room.
And what is at the back end of this sunken-in family room?
There's a staircase that leads up to a single bedroom.
Could we have Exhibit 13, 7138? Where is this, sir, in the house?
Those are the stairs leading up to that single bedroom.
Exhibit 14, please, 7140. Now, where is this in the house, sir?
This is that single bedroom on that right side of the house.
What access does this bedroom have to the rest of the house besides going down those stairs to the sunken living room?
None.
Could we have the next exhibit, which is Exhibit 15, 7141? And where is this, sir?
This is the same bedroom.
Could we have Exhibit 16, 7152? What part of the home is this?
This is that sunken-in living room. This is the closet door beneath the staircase leading up to that single bedroom.
Did you have the opportunity to look inside that closet?
I did.
Could we have the next exhibit, Exhibit 17, 7153? Is this how the closet appeared, sir?
Yes.
Now, can we have Exhibit 18, 7165? Where is this, sir?
This is the hallway as you enter through that door. So that door would be to the left, bathrooms to the right, and then the kitchen dining room straight.
Could we have Exhibit 20, file number 7235? Now, what part of the home is this?
That door on the left is the front door. So this is, if you're looking away from the dining room, you'd be looking at the stairs up in part of the house and the living room straight ahead.
What's at the far end of the living room?
A fireplace and a TV.
And if we could have the next exhibit 21, 7236. Where is this, sir?
That's a close-up look of the living room with the TV, the fireplace, and the bureau.
Exhibit 22, please, Ms. Gilman, file number 7237. What part of the home is this now?
Still right in the living room. It's the stairs leading upstairs to the main part of the second floor of the house, a view into the kitchen and the backyard.
Now, are there any other rooms by the kitchen?
To the left is a small office.
Could we have Exhibit 23, file number 7246? What is this, sir?
That's the small office.
And Exhibit 24, 7288. Where is this in the home, sir?
That is the second floor bathroom.
And can you describe the second floor layout for us?
If you walk floor, the front door would be to your back. You enter a hallway. Straight ahead is a second floor bathroom. There's two bedrooms to your left, and there's a primary bedroom to the right that also has a bathroom in it.
Could we have Exhibit 25, which is file number 7298? What are we looking at now, sir?
If you were in that hallway coming up the stairs, if you look left, that would be the doors to the two bedrooms on your left.
Could we have Exhibit 26, file number 7301? Which room is this, sir?
This is the front left bedroom on the second floor.
And who is residing in this bedroom?
The defendant.
And, sir, the drawer next to the bed.
Some sheetrock or drywall from the ceiling.
Could we have the next Exhibit 28? Wait, actually, I'm sorry, 7301. Could we have 27, 7302? And sir, where is this?
That same bedroom.
And then could we have exhibit 28, 7309? And what orientation is this, sir?
This is looking at the bedroom door from that same bedroom.
Your Honor, we would object for the reasons stated before.
Excuse me?
We object for the reasons stated before.
Thank you. Preserved.
And then I'd like to have exhibit 29, if I may, Ms. Gilman, 7319. What is this, sir?
A hole in the ceiling in that bedroom.
Now, what is above the ceiling in that home?
An attic.
Did you go into the attic that night?
No.
Now, can we have exhibit 30, 7320? What room is this, sir?
This is the second bedroom to the left in that hallway.
And could we have exhibit 31, 7321? Sir.
That same bedroom.
And who was residing in this bedroom?
The middle child.
And who was residing in the bedroom that was by the sunken living room?
The eldest child.
Could we have exhibit 32, 7259? What room is this, sir?
This is the bedroom to the right, the primary bedroom.
And with this primary bedroom, what was it attached to as far as a bathroom?
There was an attached bathroom.
33, 7269. What is this, sir?
That's the attached bathroom.
Could we have exhibit 34, 7335? Bless you. What's this, sir?
If you're standing in the kitchen looking towards the front of the house, this is the basement.
And what was on this door as far as child safety locks?
Up top was like a child safety device.
Could we have exhibit 35, 7336? Where is this, sir?
From the last photo, looking down into the basement.
Could we have exhibit 36, 7340? Where is this, sir?
If you go down those steps and you look right, this is the view of the basement.
And could we have exhibit 37, which is file 7343? And where is this?
If you go down those steps and look left, this is the view of the basement.
And then could we have exhibit 38, 7557? What is this?
Those are the basement steps.
Now, what access did the basement have as far as to the outside of the home?
If you come down those stairs and look right, there's a outside door that leads to the left side of the house.
Did you have the opportunity on January 4th to do any examination outside the home?
Yes.
Could we have exhibit 39, file number 7077? Where's this in relation to the house, sir?
This is the left side of the house, so that basement door would be just off frame to the right.
And there's a fence there, sir. What's the fence around?
That's leading into the backyard.
Exhibit 40, 7080. And what is this?
View looking into the backyard.
What condition was the pool that night when you were there on January 4th?
It was full of water, dark green and cloudy. It was unseasonably warm that night, so no ice or anything. And there was no pool cover on it.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
There's no pool cover on it.
Could we have exhibit 41084? Now, where are we in the house, sir?
You're within the fenced-in portion of the backyard, looking at the pool.
And how is the pool different in this photograph than when you were there that night?
It's drained in this photo.
What is, sir, in the left-hand corner, what is that part of the house?
Shed.
Could we have exhibit 40091? And where is this?
This is in the backyard, a view of the back of the house.
And exhibit 437092? What about this part, sir?
This is the back left corner if you're looking at the back.
And, sir, did you have the opportunity to look at that shed as well?
I did.
Could we have Exhibit 44, 7097? And did you go inside the shed?
I did.
Could we have Exhibit 45, 7390? And where is this, sir?
That's a view inside the shed.
Got a siren going by, sir. I'm going to let it go. Sir, did you find anything that night when you were there on January 4th?
No.
And did you have the opportunity to look at any vehicles that night while you were there on January 4th?
Yes.
What vehicle did you look at?
Volvo XC90.
Could we have Exhibit 46, file number 7057? What is this, sir?
That's the Volvo XC90.
And, sir, if I can just ask if you can keep your voice up, did you have the opportunity to look inside the Volvo?
I did.
What did you see inside the Volvo that night?
I noticed the trunk portion of the SUV was lined with plastic sheeting that was folded.
And anything else inside the Volvo?
In the trunk, I noticed like a maple seedling, like it looks like a V they spin when they fall from the trees.
Now, how long did it take to do this walk around?
About 30 minutes.
And what did you do after the walk around?
I returned to the Cohasset Police Station.
And what did you do when you went back to the station?
Furthered the investigation.
How so?
I checked for any international flights, if Anna had taken any, by putting a flag on her passport.
Yes, sir.
I reached out to the Metro DC Police to do a walkthrough of the townhouse down in DC.
Yes, sir.
And I called Anna's sister.
Now, after doing those things, did you ever have the opportunity to return back to 516 Chief Justice Cushing Highway?
Yes, that evening.
And why did you return back to the home?
I brought the fire department back to the house to investigate the pool.
And so, how did you do that, sir?
The fire department brought high-powered to like scrape the pool to see if there's anything inside.
And what did you see happen when they did that?
They found a pool skimmer at the bottom, and then they used that pool skimmer, because it was wider than the pike pole, to scrape the bottom of the pool.
And was anything recovered?
No.
And about how long was this? Did it take to do this checking of the pool?
15 minutes.
And after you did that, what did you do next?
Returned back to the police station.
But what time do you think you got back to the police station?
Or so.
And so, did you do anything further on January 4th?
Would have reviewed the notes I had thus far.
Okay. And then, what's next in the investigation?
I spoke to Jem the following day.
Okay. So now we're on January 5th.
Yes.
Okay. So walk us through January 5th as far as what you did as Anna Walshe.
I began contacting friends and family, gathering more background information. I created a missing persons bulletin, and I disseminated that to the department internally. I believe it went out on our social media. I sent it to the Mass Fusion Center, the Mass Crime Net, and the South Shore Detectives as a shared distribution list.
And may we have Exhibit 47, the poster? So, sir, this is the poster that you circulated?
Yes.
And I want to ask you about some of the places that you circulated it. You can take it down now, Ms. Gilman. Thank you. You said Fusion? What's that?
The Massachusetts Fusion Center. It's a information sharing system for law enforcement.
And besides them, what other organizations did you share it with?
Mass Crime Net. It's a distribution list for detectives and investigators.
And then Was there a third?
South Shore detectives.
And so I take it that's just the police departments in the South Shore.
Correct.
So you've circulated the flyer. It's January 5th. Now what are you doing?
I began checking for financial records to see if there were any recent transactions. The phone was pinged the night prior, the phone location data that day.
Okay. And so you're reviewing phone location data. And in addition to that, do you do anything as far as searching the area that day?
A canine track was conducted in, or excuse me, a area search with a canine was conducted in the house.
Can you tell
in
us
the rear of the house, excuse me.
the rear of the house? All right. So what's the rear of the house like at 516?
It's wooded. If you go through the woods straight back behind the house, you'll reach another neighborhood.
About how far is it between the two neighborhoods?
Less than a quarter mile.
And how is this area search conducted? You said a canine, but what's that entail?
A canine handler and the dog will do a scent search to see if there's any odors that jump out to the dog, if there's any indication.
I worked on this.
Sergeant Reardon,
And what to
Cohasset.
And so was anyone else involved in the search at this point in time?
No.
So after the canine search is done, what else do you do on this case on the 5th?
We checked for any Amtrak travel. We had troopers from that are assigned to the Logan Airport check each ticketing agency to see if there's any travel for Anna.
And what did you do as far as checking the cab companies or anything like that?
I began calling cab companies from Quincy to Plymouth.
Any other ride shares that you checked on?
We checked with Lyft and Uber to see if there were any pickups in that area of town.
And besides checking with the troopers at Logan Airport and cab companies and ride shares, what else did you do on the 5th?
We requested additional resources.
And who did you request for additional resources from?
My supervisor reached out to the Norfolk County, the troopers assigned to the Norfolk County DA's office.
And did you have the opportunity to meet with any of those troopers on January 5th?
Yes,
About what time did you meet with the troopers on January 5th?
about 5 p.m.
Where did you meet with them?
Cohasset Police Station.
And who did you meet with?
Trooper Sergeant Buchanan.
And what did you do when you met with the troopers on the 5th?
I brought him up to speed on the investigation thus far, and we listened to the audio recording of that first interview.
After that was done, did you do anything else besides just reviewing the recording?
We went to the house,
About what time do you think you got to the house?
8:30.
And who went to the house?
Myself, Sergeant Hunt, Detective Lieutenant Lopes, Trooper DeChico, and Sergeant Buchanan.
Who is Sergeant Hunt?
Cohasset Police Sergeant. He's now retired.
And who is Detective Lieutenant Lopes?
My supervisor.
And the other two were the state troopers.
Correct.
And so who was present at 516 on January 5th?
The nanny, Robin Howe, was leaving as we arrived. Present was the defendant, his mother, and his 3 children.
And so what did you do that night as far as dealing with the defendant?
I conducted a second interview.
And who participated with the second interview?
Myself, Sergeant Hunt, Trooper DeChico, and the defendant.
And where did this interview take place?
That same dining room table.
Where was Detective Lieutenant Lopes and Sergeant Buchanan?
They were in the living room on the other side of the staircase.
And who was with them?
The defendant's mother.
And what access did you have to the living room?
It's an open floor, so the only barrier in between those 2 rooms was the staircase.
Now, Your Honor, may I have a moment?
You may.
Thank you, Your Honor. That interview on January 5th, was it recorded?
It was.
And have you reviewed that interview?
I have.
And does it fairly and accurately depict that with the defendant that night and Sergeant and Trooper Chico?
Yes.
Your Honor, the Commonwealth will seek to enter a drive with the interview from January 5th as the next exhibit, which would be, I believe, 54.
Subject to the earlier objections, any new objections? It'll be marked and admitted as Exhibit 54.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I have it as 50.
Thank you.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, may we play Exhibit 54?
You may.
Thank you. Ms. Gilman, could you play the interview from January 5th?
The recorder is on. It is 1956, January 5th, 2023. We were at your home, we're in CJC Highway. My name is Harrison Schmidt. I'm a detective with Cohasset Police. Present is Trooper
Chico. I'm assigned to the Norfolk County office. My name is spelled B-I-C-I-C.
and Sergeant Garrett is Cohasset.
Brian Walshe.
Beautiful.
Other
So I'd just like to circle back to I'd like to circle back to last weekend. So could you start me with in the morning? So when you woke up, 'cause I remember when we talked, I was just going back to my notes and taking everything up. When we talked, I had up until an 11. Could you fill me in starting from when you woke up on the 1st, so it's Sunday morning?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Maybe Brian normally gets out of there for this, around 7-ish, so, when it's about light, sorry.
No.
And then I'm supposed to change William and Brian in the morning.
Yep.
I didn't. I'm 50-50 on 100%. So we went down and I made French toast for one of the days off. I made French toast and so I made French toast. I was expecting to see my mother and later. So the kids and I played with all the gifts and things that we had at the house. I showed up at 2, and then I had to go out to get for low on orange juice and milk and things like that. So I went to Shaw's, and then I went to then I got off a bit late to go see my mother, and then we went to Whole Foods and CVS, and then I came back. And that was pretty much the whole day.
Okay.
Before that, I listened to your interview. And you said that, I think you said at the beginning that Brian had woken you at about 6 when she was leaving.
She kisses me goodbye normally. Yeah.
So you did wake up and you did.
I knew, yeah. I didn't get out of bed or anything. She just said bye and I went back to sleep.
Okay, no conversation.
That's pretty much what I had to go. Routine. I used to get up with her, and then I would be too blown up for the kids. So.
Okay. Also saw Connor before you left.
Yeah. When I came down, I said, "Sorry, Mom, I had to go early." And he said, "I know I said goodbye."
So this is like 7:30 years old.
Yeah, I came down at 7. He was on the couch playing.
Okay. Sorry, to interrupt.
No, it's
To clear that completely.
No, I'm nothing's clear anymore.
Can you tell me what she was wearing? Like when she left, if you remember?
I'm sorry. I really she never dressed dress on here, her underwear, I guess the stuff is down here. Sometimes she keeps it in her arm. So sometimes, because she's getting herself ready in her underwear normally. So, she always got a black dress normally or something on. That's her standby, or she has one of her flowery dresses, but I don't know what she was wearing that day. I do know that she wore, she had to have worn her short black coat, because I was listening, she wore her hunters, which is odd. Normally she wears fancier shoes to leave.
And what color are the boots again?
They're blue gray or something like that.
And the pocketbooks?
Yeah, she had a Louis Vuitton bag,
Yeah.
and then she had her black bag. I think it was Prada one. But she has like 5 or 6 Prada bags.
You're confident that she took that with her, like that hasn't turned up in the
No,
house here?
the only thing that turned up was when we were here last night, her Tiffany sunglasses.
Sunglasses.
Yeah, she did not take that.
And were you able to track down where she left those, or where
She left her sunglasses.
Thomas at?
Brian was playing with them. Maybe Thomas found them. I think they were right there, because they go in there and start like taking stuff. So.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry if I sidetracked there. Has anything like this ever happened before?
No, this is not a normal thing at all, and the reason why I didn't call sooner, one was that when she leaves, if she was coming here and she was 5 minutes late, I would freak out, and the week before, she was late for Christmas, because as I said, she worked late for December 24th.
Yeah.
So I was like, are you coming? You're missing. I emailed her, and I called people, and she's like, hey, I missed the flight. It was canceled. I'm driving up. So I didn't have the phone, and she wasn't coming, so I held off. And then I should have called work on Tuesday and on Wednesday. I don't know.
Go ahead. Sorry. So you didn't have your phone for the duration of Sunday, is that correct?
I didn't have the phone was with I think it was in bed the whole time.
Okay.
Because Thomas found it. Rob, the guy we just met, was up there, and then Thomas, I guess, they went to the garbage to report, because they were on his phone away a while ago in the garbage. So they were out in the garbage, and then they came back, and Thomas went upstairs to play with William, and then brought the phone down. And I think Robin was there for my mother. So, and that's when I called when I got my phone back. And that's when things I got. You can call. It's been a while. You've had some rest. I don't know what's going on. Right. So I didn't. She didn't give me the exact. But the emergency normally she updates. She's had several emergencies at the FBI storm crossing at one point. That was her building. Huge leaks at Mazda or TJ Maxx was going to leave, and then there was a disgruntled resident that she was dealing with. So anytime she had one of these big, she debriefs me on it pretty quick.
Yep. So then, when was it that you got your phone back?
I called on it like 2:30 or 3:30 on Monday.
You said about 2:30 to 3:30?
So yeah, I think it was 2:33, because at the moment I got it, I called.
2:33.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, going back to the morning of the first, so you do French toast, you run some errands, OJ and milk.
That was later in the afternoon. And during the morning, it was French toast, and then we played with a bunch of toys from Christmas. They were going to watch a movie and things like that. So.
Okay. So then you went to see your mother?
I saw that they were around 4.
Did you take the boys and go?
No, they stayed with Robin.
They stayed with Robin?
Yeah, they stayed with Robin. But I was considering, if Ivana was here, maybe we were all gone, or I was gone, and then some of the things changed, switched up, but we had Robin scheduled for.
What vehicle did you drive up?
Did I drive up?
Yeah.
No, I drove.
Oh, okay. Where's that now, if you don't mind me asking?
It's, so a bunch of people have come to, visit and support, so I couldn't get in, so I parked right out.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And then, so, the pickup truck, who's that then?
That belongs to, Robin.
Okay, and then so.
That belongs to my mother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then we have other cars in here, and then the press, so.
Okay, very good. So how long were you visiting with your mom?
A few hours.
What, is she, it's the Swampscott?
Yeah, yeah.
Excuse me, address?
330 Paradise Road. My son's doing something.
Okay.
So, sounds like Anna had a really stressful job.
That's a trend, some people call them.
Yeah, I bet. Sounds like Anna had a really stressful job.
So, just to be clear, her experience was that she was over her head. As I said, it was huge. It was the job of her dreams, and she got like 2 or 3 times the money that she had been making before.
Yeah.
And she was worried to a certain extent that she was over her head, and she kept talking about that. And then being away from the family was very difficult too.
Yeah, that's a lot. And what did she do prior to this job?
She worked for Jen, who was here on New Year's Eve.
But what did she like?
Yeah, she was his, he runs a real estate company,
Yeah.
and she was the operations officer.
So it's just a similar job, just larger scale, more money.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's a way larger scale. It's
Yeah.
like multi-billion-dollar company, and, it was a lot. It was overwhelming, it was unbelievably overwhelming.
I know that in the previous conversation we had with the distance, the issues that you were having on your end.
Yeah.
Discussion between you.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, I'm just gonna ask you a pointed question there.
Never, no, she never ever said that. She talked to Jen for an hour and a half. I know you spoke to her about how the year had been, and how she was really unhappy about the trial and things taking, or the court case taking longer, and us not being able to be together. And she kept mad, and then she's like, "Well, I can only have 100,000, a smaller job." And I was like, "No, we've made these huge sacrifices for you to be there at the townhouse. We'll stick it out." She was going to see a psychiatrist, was the first time she brought that up. But I spoke to Jim about it today. He's spoken to me 3 times today, and he basically said, "Hey, it's fine. It doesn't mean there was any problem. She had a problem, and she should do it in a healthy way." So that was his experience.
Okay, so no past no past attempts on this like that.
No.
Is the marriage okay? Have you guys talked about separating? Or
No, not at all. I mean, we've been separate, so it's been sad for us. We love spending time together, and think about when the kids grow up, what time we have together. So, during the pandemic, with all the family time, it was best for us. It just wasn't like that. We really enjoyed each other's company. So, our friend, my mother was like, "What do you think about Anna?" And we're just friends. It looks like they would enjoy each other's company. I left her all the time, but that wasn't. That wasn't the problem. Also, I mean, it's just the idea of separation for her, who comes from like a family that her mother and father were for 47 years, and for me, coming from a divorce family, not enjoying what that was like, it just really wasn't. I mean, I don't think so. At least for me, that was my experience, and maybe she wasn't telling me something, but for me, I just couldn't imagine it.
You mentioned that in the past you would live together in DC, right?
We lived together, yeah, for a year.
And then there was some problems, like you said, I think 2013, and you came here.
Yeah, I came back to Boston. I was like, DC's not working, and then she said, "Okay, she came to Boston."
So that was just in like DC.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I guess no. That's not. That's not a fair statement. But I didn't like DC, just, it was, maybe I wasn't ready for such a serious relationship at the time, and I was uncomfortable in a new town. So obviously there was more layers to it. And I wasn't used to what a relationship meant. I was just a solo operator, and now I wasn't, and that was difficult for me. I struggled with that. So I think that was it. And then Anna realized that she wanted to be with me, and then that being in Boston was fine. So and then things worked
Ms.
out
Gilman,
really
could you
well.
pause, please? And for the record, Your Honor, this has been paused at 14 minutes and 33 seconds on the media player.
All right, great. Stuart, we're going to take our lunch break, and
All right, please. Close your notebooks. Leave on the chair.
you may step in.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Before the lunch break.
No, Your Honor.
All rise.